How much sort of reference material outside of the book did you have to sort of create this character, and what was the experience like of sort of developing her?
Right. Well, it was so basic. There was really no reference material. It's like, how do you have reference material to a first experience? I mean, that's sort of what my story is about. It's that first sort of, it's that first eye-opening, like, taken, just like heart-pounding, it's sort of like, just enamored. Like, how do you describe that? But Tracy, the girl that I played, is real. She lived in this lab. She met Chris and had sort of the same thing go on. And he said to her, that's the last line that Chris says to me, is, if you want something in life, you reach out and grab it. And she said that, or he said that to her, and she told Sean, and we did it. So that was, that was reference material, I guess.
Well, do you feel any sense of like responsibility, or what kind of pressure is it to play a character based on a real person?
Right. I had a lot less pressure. I mean, the other actors who played, Chris's family, his sister and his mom and his dad, it's definitely a different deal. I played a girl. We sort of got to manifest our little character sort of based on what Sean wanted and not necessarily based on who she was as a person. So I didn't feel that responsibility necessarily to her, but more so to Sean. I mean, because he had such a, it's so, you have so much freedom in that he has hired you because he wants you to bring what you bring naturally. But then there's also, he always says that, like he doesn't pull performances out of actors and blah, blah, and, things just happen. But he has a grand plan. It wouldn't turn out this way unless he was, he knew what he was doing. That's all I'm saying.
There are a lot of sequences where you and Emil sort of have an opportunity to bond, but there's not sort of like explicit dialogue where you guys are, in those kinds of scenes. I mean, do you guys just sort of improvise conversations as your characters? Or how does that work so that, obviously you're filming a scene and it's like convey that you guys are sort of bonding, but there's not sort of concrete like, oh, I also like the new album by this person or something like that.
Right. Yeah, you know what? It was very, it was so, you think about that kind of stuff afterwards, but when we were shooting it, it was, and like, I think it all purely comes from Sean. He creates an environment that just seems so real that once you get there, it's sort of just, it's just like the most natural process. It's, like for all the montagey stuff where we're supposed to be bonding, we weren't thinking about it. It was more like, look at how beautiful this place is. It's like, we just got to take a walk together and he filmed it, so.
And since you sort of appeared in Panic Room, you've had the opportunity to play some sort of more like teen-oriented roles, but I mean this is definitely a more sophisticated, more complicated kind of character. Are these the kind of movies that you're being offered, or is it as a product of really sort of like weeding out sort of too much sort of kid material in order to find these more sophisticated challenges as an actress?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only really, I only do projects that I feel like very compelled to do, because if I don't have that feeling, I know that I'm not going to do a good job. And with projects like that, that you were talking about, if you don't feel it, it's not going to be there and you're just going to be bad. And I don't really like movies like that anyway, and I'd rather be reading and with my friends and, so no, I definitely choose. It's, I mean, it's not, I don't have some grand plan, but the movies that I do are definitely done for a reason.